Hey, this is Dave from Max MMA, and I'm here in Buffalo, New York with Jason Trzewiecznski at Buffalo Training Center. Jason, how are you today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thanks. We're in your new facility here in Buffalo at the mall in Buffalo. Which mall is this?
The Eastern Hills Mall.
Eastern Hills Mall. It's a great facility, and actually we'll talk about that in a moment. But first I want to ask you about an event you were involved in this past weekend called Sando. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. Sando, the Way of Three.
The Way of Three. Why don't you tell me about the Way of Three?
That was, it's basically a three-man fight. It takes 3 pro MMA fighters. You have to be pro to compete in the event. But basically it's a one-on-one-on-one. All 3 guys can fight each other, either opponent. And when there's 3 guys in the ring, it's basically all standing and throwing. So there's no ground fighting. As soon as one guy gets eliminated by either TKO or KO, then it goes to full MMA round, full MMA rules. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess so. How was the experience down there?
The experience was great. It was brand new strategies and brand new way of fighting for me. You know, I've done 16 MMA fights total, you know, 10 of them being pro. So I'm very used to trying to deal with one opponent and basically, you know, make the opponent move in the way I need him to move so I can land my techniques and stuff. But this one, it's kind of hard to control 2 guys at the same time, so it's more of a reaction game where you just always have to be aware of, even if you're doing well against one guy, somebody from the side can come in, you know, so it's, you know, it's very, very real and very reaction based.
And among your 2 opponents, one was George Shepard, who fought M1.
Correct.
So they had some decent quality fighters.
Yeah. Originally, I was slated to fight some other guys, different opponents, but the week of the fight, Micah Miller dropped out of the fight, and I was called to replace him. So, you know, they offered me the better opponents, and I couldn't say no to that. You know, especially getting to replace Micah Miller, who's a pretty awesome guy. So yeah, I took that fight, and you know, it was a good experience.
Did it seem like it was well received by the crowd? Did they seem to appreciate the new, unique kind of sport? Yeah,
it's strange because a lot of the fans there were obviously MMA fans because all the fighters were MMA guys. So you know, friends and family came to support them. Most of the like my friends and family that came said they preferred MMA, probably just because that's what they were used to and it was so new for them. But it seemed like the people that were just there who bought tickets, you know, for something to do, they really enjoyed it. You know, the cheering, a lot of cheering nonstop. Sometimes when I'm at MMA events, it can get actually pretty quiet in there, but the crowd really seemed to enjoy it. A lot of action. So. And
why don't you tell us how the outcome of your fight?
I ended up winning a decision. The rules got changed on me right before my match. So since it was so new, they wanted to keep this, you know, keep everything safe and make sure that the sport was, you know, didn't get shut out by the state. They wanted to continue to grow it. So they made some quick rule changes right before my match, which kind of messed up my strategy. But I was able to still adapt, and you know, that's part of being a martial artist is adapting on the spot and trying to overcome whatever situation you're put into, which is why I wanted to do this in the first place and just test it out.
Now, having won your first fight, do you come back again for a second, or how does it work, or is that sort of up in the air?
That's up in the air. I don't know. I haven't been told if there's when the next event is going to be or anything like that. Once having been in there, there's some of my teammates here that I know would probably do a much better job than me. Some of the Team Ascension guys here. So you know, I kind of tested the waters out, and it might be a gateway for some of my teammates to go in there because I think they could do a lot better job than I did. But it was definitely cool, and I'd consider doing it again for sure.
Any thoughts of getting back in action and doing straight up MMA?
Oh yeah. I'm you know, I had a year off from my injury, probably the hardest year that I've gone through. But my team's been great in supporting me on my rehab and my comeback. And the Sando event was the first competition I've had in over a year, and you know, that went well, but it didn't really quench my thirst for competition. So I want to get back to MMA as soon as possible. So I'll be looking. I'm going to start looking probably today for the next fight, and I've got some things to accomplish still. So I got to cover up some past mistakes I've made and erase those decision losses that I've got in my record.
Well, thanks for your time and continued success here at Buffalo Training Center.
Thank you.
The mic